Hey Python nerds! So now we're on the official website of LangChain, langchain.com. So as you can see here, the landing page of the website, the platform for reliable agents, tools for every step of the agent development lifecycle, built to unlock powerful AI in production. So you can scroll over the landing page and read the things. Uh, Maybe it uh, excite you to read these things. Okay, from here we shall head over to the docs section. Uh, there are two sections, Python and JavaScript. So you can build and develop LangChain applications using JavaScript programming language also. So there are three sections for three components for three subsections for each of the sections: LangGraph, LangSmith, and LangChain. So what's LangGraph? LangGraph is basically a more complex framework which is built on top of LangChain, right? So for using LangGraph, it's good to be at least fundamentally knowledgeable about LangChain, right? So whenever we're going to build something more complex, AI agents that are more complex in terms of functionalities, in that case, we need to use LangGraph, right? So hopefully I shall make another tutorial series on LangGraph. So now let's head on to LangChain, and there is another tool called LangSmith, which is basically for monitoring, evaluating the performance of any LangChain application. We shall also dive into that later. So first of all, let's head over to the LangChain's official documentation of Python. So as you can see, there is some introductory introductory writings about LangChain. LangChain is a framework for developing applications powered by large language models. LangChain simplifies every stage of LLM application lifecycle. So development, productionization, deployment, in all the cases, LangChain uh, handles everything much more smoothly. The LangSmith, as I have said previously, use LangSmith to inspect, monitor, and evaluate your applications so that you can continuously optimize and deploy with confidence, right? It's not enough to build an application using LangChain. Further, we need to optimize that application and optimize its performance, its deployment, right? So we need to make our applications much more efficient, right, as long as we can. So for that, for these kinds of things, LangSmith is a tool set, or is another platform that helps us for doing these kinds of things, for inspecting, monitoring, and evaluating our applications. Okay, so from here I shall click on the tutorial section. Here you can see many tutorials regarding LangChain's different functionalities. So first of all, getting start section, in the get started section, familiarize yourself with LangChain's open source components by building simple applications. So there are several simple applications: chat models and prompts, semantic search, classification, extraction. Uh, in this tutorial, we'll explore with these things, right? Chat models, how to build a simple LLM application with prompt templates and chat models. So first of all, we need an API key. In the very first, we need an API key, right? So if you have an OpenAI paid platform, you can use API key from there. Currently, OpenAI, as far as I know, OpenAI is not giving any free tier, right? Any access to free tier. They are not providing that. You need to at least pay something for using their tokens, right? So there are several free tier options you can use. Google Gemini, then Grok, Grok is they are providing free access to some, with obviously some usage limits, right? So I shall head over to Google AI Studio, right? From there, aistudio.google.com. You have to go to this URL, and obviously you need to log into your Google account. Then you shall see a dashboard page of your account. So from here you can get an API key, right? You can get a Gemini API key, right? So Gemini is currently providing some free tokens, right? If I head over to the documentation, they are providing some access to free tier options in their for using their models. If I click pricing, right? If I click pricing, you can see that for some models they have kept open free tier option, free of charge, right? Gemini 2.5 Pro, this is a model. And if I click rate limits, from there you can see how much limit they are giving for free tier users, right? So here you can see for Gemini 2.5 Pro, there is request per minute, token per minute, and request per day, 3 options. For Gemini 2.5 Pro, you have 5 requests per minute, right? You can have maximum 5 requests per minute. Then you can have maximum 250,000 tokens per minute and 100 requests per day. And there are several models. For the lighter models that are more like Gemini 2.0 flashlight, this is a very light model, and you will get more tokens than the Pro models, right? So from here you can create an API key, right? From here I already have an API key generated. So here you can see there is a project number and API key. The API key is a very secret key. You should not share this API key with anyone, right? From here you will just create, just click on this button, create API key, and you will have a API key generated. If you are new to Google AI Studio account, then you will have a new fresh API key generated. Then you need to copy this API key, right? You need to copy this API key from here. Okay, let me show you an example. This is a project, right? This project will be automatically created. As I first created my when I first created my API key, this project was automatically created. Now it is here. So I am clicking here. Now I have to click here, create API key in existing project, right? So it's generating. So as you can see here, there is an API key. You need to copy this and close this, right? Once you have closed this, you have no option to access this again, right? Now I have this API key copied in my clipboard, right? Now if I paste it somewhere, I can get the value, right? So now what you have to do, I am heading over to Google Colab, right? Now let's head over to Google Colab. Okay, from first of all I will enter my Google Drive. Then there is a folder created called Google Colab Notebooks, and here I shall create another okay, there is another folder, LangChain official docs. So I recommend you to keep all the Colab notebooks in an organized way, right? In an organized folder, as I am as I have created a separate folder, for this. So I am creating a Google Colab notebook in this folder. So I'll click here, new, then I'll head over to more and Google Collaboratory. This will create a new Colab file, right? Colab IPyNB file, right? It's basically, you can compare it with Google Jupyter Notebook. It's basically same as Jupyter Notebook functionalities, right? Okay, this is an IPyNB file. So here I am naming this file, right? Let's say first I want to giving the name like first chat model. Okay, our first tutorial is basically chat models, right? Chat models and prompts. Okay, chat models and prompts. Okay, I have changed the name of my IPyNB file. So here's my Colab notebook created. Okay, now the API key we have just generated and copied from Google AI Studio. We need to set that API key as a secret key in our Google Colab environment, right? So we need to click this tab. You will see the interface, secrets, all the secret key. You can see all the secret keys that I have set previously. Here's Google API key also that I have already set previously. So from here, you need to click this button, add new secret, and you need to type here Google API key, just like this, right? Okay, Google API key. If you are using any other API key from any other platform, like from OpenAI, there are so many options. If you use OpenAI, then you need to write like this OpenAI API key in here, right? So as we are using Google Gemini, uh, so we need to write Google API key here, and you need to paste the value that you have just copied from AI Studio, Google AI Studio. You need to paste that value here, right? And after pasting that value here, you need to close that I button so that your API key value is not visible. And then you need to give access to notebook by clicking this button. You need to turn this button on. Then I will close this section. So I am deleting this because I have already my Google API key set previously. So now I will close this button. I showed you how you can set your own. Okay, I'm closing this tab. Now we shall write jump. Now we shall jump right into our code following our official documentation from LangChain. Okay, from here, we need to install LangChain package or LangChain library in our Google Colab environment. So I'm copying this by clicking this button, clicking this icon, and then for installing any package or library in a Google Colab environment, you need to put an exclamation sign before, right? Then you need to type this command, right? So like this, then I'm gonna run this cell. Uh, okay, everything is installed properly, hopefully. Then I'm gonna hide this cell because we don't need those outputs anymore. Now I'm gonna add a new code cell. Then uh, then we need to here you can see langsmith section. For this tutorial, we don't use LangChain, and we won't set up LangChain. Uh, in future, when you are going to build something complex applications, in that case we need to monitor and evaluate the performance of our applications. Then we will show how to set up langsmith with our LangChain application. So for now, we'll head over to direct using language models. So the Google Gemini is selected as a chat model. For this, we need to copy this command. If you use another API provider, another API from another model provider, like let's say Anthropic or OpenAI. If you have OpenAI paid platform, then I recommend you to use the OpenAI, right? If you use OpenAI, then you need to install LangChain's OpenAI package. As I am using Google Gemini package, Google Gemini as a chat model, so I'm gonna install this package in in my environment. So I am also putting an exclamation sign before. Then I will run this code. Okay, if you get some error in your output, I'll recommend you to run this cell again. Hopefully in the second run, you won't get any error. Okay, now I shall copy this code section by clicking this icon. Here we are initializing, basically we are initializing our chat model, right? Initializing our model by this code. So I am pasting here it in the next code cell. So here you can see what it is saying. If the Google API key is not found as an environment variable in the operating system's environment, then it will ask for the API key as a password, right? So we won't do this like this way. I will remove this line. I shall do do an import from google.colab import user data. With this object, we can access our secret keys from here, right? And obviously you need to check your notebook access is turned on. Okay, now I shall write like user data dot get, then I'll write here Google API key. Okay, if you use OpenAI API key, then all these things need to be written as OpenAI API key, right? And your secret key also needs to be written as OpenAI API key. Okay, I think everything is fine till now. Okay, this line is saying that from LangChain chat models import init chat model. So this is the handler function for initializing a chat model, and in this function, we need to pass, first of all, we need to pass the model's name, right? This is the model's name, Gemini 2.0 Flash. If you want to use another model, you can read the official documentation from AI Studio. This is the documentation. If you click here, you will head over to the documentation, and from here you can see all the models, right? All models. Okay, model variants. So we are using Gemini 2.0 Flash. This is a recommended model for learning purpose. If you want to use some pro model, you can also copy this. You need to copy this line here and you need to paste it here, right? So now if I run this model is going to use the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, right? This will be our model instance in that case. So I am sticking with our previous model, Gemini 2.0 Flash. And the second parameter is the model provider. And the model provider is Google Gen AI, right? So now I will run this code. Okay, I think our model is initialized perfectly. Now I shall use this model to generate some response. Okay, from here, let's first use the model directly. Chat models are instances of LangChain runnables, which means they expose a standard interface for interacting with them. To simply call the model, we can pass a list of messages to the invoke method, right? So we need to call model.invoke and then pass our messages here. So I'm copying this code section and pasting it on the next code cell. So here what's going on? From LangChain core.messages, import human message, system message. So system message is an object which is basically giving the LLM a primary instruction, what to do, right? So this is saying that translate the following from English into Italian, and this is the human message, right? So basically it is instructing the LLM to translate the human message from English to Italian. Okay, you can write anything here. Hi, what's your name? Whatever you want to write here. And then if I run this cell, here you can see I have got an AI message object which has several properties: content, additional keyword args, response metadata, usage metadata. You can also see how many tokens were used for input and output. Okay, so this is the main thing. This is our translated text, right? This is the Italian translated text of this sentence. So you can print this like print like this. Okay, I'm giving this variable a name as response. Okay, now let's print response dot content. Now let's run this cell again. So now we can see the original actual text that we were expecting. Okay, now you can pass anything, any instruction here. Let's say I want to write like this. You are an expert mathematician. Answer the following question. Okay, I am giving the LLM a primary instruction, right? Now I can ask a question about any mathematical topic. I can write, can you explain about Fourier series. This is an advanced topic in mathematics. We don't need to bother with this, but I'm just giving it a try, right? Can you explain about Fourier series? Okay, let's run this cell again. Okay, you're seeing that the LLM has provided a nice response in very details regarding the Fourier series. Okay, all right, let's dive into the world of Fourier series. I'll break down the concept, its components, and some key ideas. What is a Fourier series? It has written all these things in a nicely formatted way. These star things basically are markdown things, right? I guess. So if you want to print it in a very formatted way, you can use the markdown function of Python so that you can see the whole text in a nicely formatted way. So it has given us a pretty detailed answer regarding Fourier series. Okay, now let's say how we can use templates, prompt templates. For this, I'm going to again the documentation section. Okay, now let's create a prompt template here. For creating prompt template, we need to import chat prompt template from the LangChain core.prompts module. Okay, I am copying this section, code section, and now pasting it here. So system template is translate the following from English into curly braces. This is actually a variable interpolation in this template. So we can pass a variable as a language when we are using this prompt template, right? So this is the system template. So the prompt template is chat prompt template dot from messages. You have to write like this way, and then in an array the system. This is the system template, and this is the user template. So we are using this in a form of tuple. So this is a tuple of system template, and this is the tuple of user template, right? Okay, so it is another variable. Okay, now we have generated our prompt template. It is still not full prompt, right? It's a prompt template. Okay, now we shall generate our prompt using this prompt template. So I'm going to copy this code section. Prompt equals prompt template dot invoke language equals Italian and text equals hi, right? So let's generate our prompt. We have generated our prompt template. Now we have to generate our prompt. Okay, listing these two lines of codes here. So this language Italian, so this string will be injected here, right? So the whole prompt, this prompt will be translate the following from English to Italian, right? So this will be our final system template. And what will be our final user template? Our user template will be users text like this. So this is our user template. This will be our user template, and this will be our system template. So as user, we're passing this string, right? So whatever you write here, this will be passed here, right? So users, this will be users message. So now let's check what's our final prompt. So this is our final prompt. This is a chat prompt value object, right? So messages here, you can see the system message. System messages content is translate the following from English into Italian. As I said previously, that our final system template will be this, right? So Italian will be injected here. So we can see that Italian is already injected here, right? So translate the following from English into Italian, and then human message. What is human message? Human messages content is just a hi, right? So we have passed here as a text, right? This is also an interpolating variable, uh, right? So we have passed here just the word hi. You can say it anything, any sentence like whatever you want to. What's your name? How are you? Or good morning. Whatever you want to say. Now our prompt is generated. Now we shall we can you can also call this prompt dot to messages. Let's try this prompt dot to messages. We can see the only messages here, right? So with less parameters, with less keywords, uh, it's much more cleaner than the previous object. If you want to see this in this way, you can also
do this. Now let's generate our response. So response equal prompt model dot invoke, and we shall pass here the prompt. Previously we passed here the message. Now we shall pass here the prompt, right? So now response equals model dot invoke, as we did it previously. Response equals model dot invoke. Then we have passed here the messages object, right? This is an array object of a system message and a human message, and this is actually a prompt object, right? This is not a messages. This is not an object like these messages. This is another object, which is a prompt object, right? So now let us print this response.content. So as you can see, we have translated this hi into Italian, right? So this is our translated word. So actually how the chat models work, right? We have built our very first LLM application using LangChain.